In New Zealand, John starts a new day of work. He goes from house to house collecting the money neighbors pay for the protection of the local kingpin. On his way he bumps into his friend Gaz, who is bored and decides to come along. When all the money has been collected, John takes it to his boss. Shelton shows him an explosive vest that his sister Kelly has been building, and John is immediately interested in her. However, Shelton drags him away for a serious talk. The Chinese mafia is looking to set up shop in this town, starting by using Wali's antique shop as a gambling drop. Shelton refuses to give up control of his town, so he has a plan. A shipment of crime money will be dropped off at the antique store, and Shelton wants John and Gaz to intercept it. Afterward, the boys go to the bowling club for a drink and discuss what they'd do if they had money like Shelton. Gaz points out that the shipment will be in the store for anyone to steal and says that they should take it for themselves, but John is too scared of Shelton to act behind his back. Later at the cemetery, Kelly finds John drinking beer in front of his parents' graves. John admits he wants to start his own organization, so Kelly points out that he needs to grow some nuts to do so. When John goes home, his landlady tells him he needs to move out before 6. It turns out he's been living in her garage and now she needs it for an actual car. John doesn't have anywhere to go, so he looks in the mirror and hypes himself up until he's brave enough to call Gaz to agree to do the robbery. At the antique store, he meets with Gaz and they wait for the shipment to arrive. A car soon arrives and brings out a tire, so John assumes the money is hidden there. After Wen leaves, the boys put on some masks and Gaz reveals he's brought his mother's gun. The duo rushes into the shop and they ask Wali where the Chinese money is, so he points at the tire. Bracelet is very dangerous. If he uses it, a demon will come for him. John ignores him and finally runs to join Gaz. Wen enters the store and gets angry when he sees that the tire has been emptied, so he tries to run after the boys with a blade in hand. Outside, John uses a box cutter on one of the tires on Wen's car before joining Gaz in his vehicle. Later the duo reaches a hideout in the woods. Suddenly 2 people jump on John and capture him before passing the bag of money to Shelton, who knew about the plan all along because Gaz betrayed his friend. He checks John's pockets and finds the bracelet, so he puts it on John's wrist to mock him for liking girly things. Then Shelton orders Gaz to kill John, but Gaz can't bring himself to do it. A thug named Damage volunteers and Gaz tries to leave, but Shelton forces him to watch. However, when Damage shoots, the bullet goes backwards and hits Terry in the eye. Gaz doesn't have any more bullets because his mother keeps them locked up, so Officer Lei shows up to remind them that they aren't supposed to discharge firearms in public. Shelton uses the Chinese money to buy his silence. Meanwhile, John hides inside,
telling him to press it, and John is shocked to see himself at the back of the trailer. He runs away while the second John yells that he'll know when to push the button. Eventually John has to stop running to throw up. The thugs finally get to catch him and dunk his head in dirty water, trying to drown him. Not knowing what else to do, John presses the button. Things look blurry for a while and his body feels funny. When he looks up, he finds himself alone and the trailer is empty. John returns to the hideout and is surprised to see himself surrounded by Shelton's
present self to tell him about the button, recreating the scene. Moments later, Kelly finds John and tells him that Shelton's gang is still looking for him, the bracelet, to get the money back or he'll kill him and Kelly. He gives him a card with the address of an inn where they'll meet tonight. Afterward, John presses the button and goes who can help. They knock on a container and say the password before Jay comes out ready to shoot his slingshot. He's confused by the sight of 2 Johns, so they tell him what happened. Jay takes a close look at the bracelet and recognizes the demon toady, who is known for eating everything in sight and then itself. The bracelet was made in ancient China, eager to use this power to save his homeland. The monk warned him that if he met himself while time traveling, the demon would come for him, but Wali ignored him. Using the bracelet, Wali easily won the war by going back in time every time he lost a fight and trying again with the new knowledge. The country called him a hero and gave him riches, but he could only think about one thing, and 2 toy guns that they paint black to make them look real. The Johns burst into the bank but barely get to say a word before an armed lady shoots one of them. The other John immediately runs away and hides in a public bathroom, where he decides to press the button again. He reappears 5 minutes ago and finds a man already using the toilet, so John goes out while Tura isn't looking to take away her gun from her bag. Soon the 2 Johns arrive and the 3rd John tells them to go ahead. The Johns are very awkward when they threaten the clerk, and she calls her supervisor. The guy comes out and the sight of thieves makes him throw up. The clerk has no choice but to give the robbers a valuable box. The thugs show up and quickly capture the remaining John. He tries to press the button but the thugs are keeping his arms apart, so Damage stabs him with a knife. As John's body falls, he presses the button and reappears in the club without the wound. He runs to the bathroom and hides in a stall to wait until the second John shows up. Then he rushes back to the club and hits Damage from behind to bring him down and save himself. While the other thugs run away, the Johns look at each other and realize they've become their own gang, so they call it Mega Time Squad before they're malfunctioning. Terry follows the first John into the house and becomes part of the confusion. Eventually 2 Johns end up on the stairs at the same time, so Shelton sees them together on camera. Soon more Johns appear together because they've been time traveling over and over to put together a whole gang. When a thug manages to corner one of the Johns, another one appears behind him and strikes him down with a hammer before disappearing. A John manages to reach to point his gun at him and call him a coward. John considers pressing the button, however he wants to prove to Kelly that he's a brave man now. He hits Damage's face with the money bag, then he grabs him and starts poking his forehead wound. Damage runs away but swears he'll get his revenge. Then John asks Kelly if she wants to run away with him. Shelton and his men search the basement and discover that the money is gone. Everyone runs outside to look for John, but he and Kelly are already driving away in Gaz's car. Damage tries to open fire, however the bullet hits Terry in the wounded eye. Shelton makes his men get in his car to chase after John. After everyone is gone, 4 Johns come out of the house and realize they've pressed the button too many times. They go home and discover that the landlady has already thrown all of John's things away. Her son is currently burning those things, so the Johns surround him and intimidate him until he gives them his bathroom, and soon a second one does the same. However, they don't bump into each other and find it suspicious, so they argue again until one of them goes outside for fresh air. He hears a noise and turns around to notice that some plants have been moved. Killer appears inside and drags John 3 away. Kelly and John 4 run out of the room while John 5 stays to grab the money bag. Since the killer is now coming for him, he rushes to hide in the nearest room and blocks the door with the ironing board. Then he tries to escape through the window, but it's too high for him to jump. In the corridor, Kelly and John 4 see the gang coming out of the elevator, so they take the stairs. They make it to the manager's door, but it's locked and he won't answer. The gang corners them and Damage tries to attack them, so Kelly kicks him in the groin to bring him down. When the manager finally opens the door, John immediately runs in and uses the back door to go outside. When John 4 looks up, he sees John 5 at the window and convinces him to come down. John 5 slowly climbs out and 4 asks him to throw him the bag to make it easier. After some hesitation, 5 tosses it, and 4 immediately returns to the room. At that moment the gang breaks in and the manager wets his pants at the sight of a gun. John 4 goes back outside and just waits on the side while the gang runs out without seeing him. Now he can return to Kelly and run away. Outside, the gang looks up and sees John 5 at the window, so Terry opens fire and 5 is forced to go back inside. Damage goes to search the honeymoon suite and finds a dead John 3. While he's distracted taking a selfie with the body, the killer sneaks out. Kelly and John 4 take the elevator and Terry tries to shoot them, but the door closes too fast. The couple makes it to the lobby but Kelly isn't walking fast enough, so Terry catches up to them and grabs Kelly by the arm. They start arguing while John 5 shows up, so 4 keeps Terry distracted with a bad magic trick and 5 knocks him out from behind. Afterward both Johns grab 5 then takes the car keys from 4's pocket, only to accidentally drop them on the remains of his head. After disgustingly picking them up, John leaves in Gaz's car. During the ride, he considers pressing the button left, which is why he's still alive. He's the last Wali. He advises John to kill any remaining Johns if he wants to survive. Then John visits Jay to get his help and access to his weapons. The duo sneaks into Shelton's house and brings down 2 of the thugs using the slingshot and bolas. They tie them up and hide them in a closet. Shelton sees it all on the security camera and sends Terry to take care of it. In the corridor, Jay tries to attack Terry with a slingshot, but Terry accidentally fires the gun first and hits him in the leg. Jay uses his slingshot anyway and hurts Terry's healthy eye. Meanwhile John goes looking for Kelly and Damage runs away as soon as he sees him. He apologizes for his attitude and shows her that he's given up the bracelet. Kelly makes him promise that he'll behave from now on before finally forgiving him. When the couple tries to leave with Jay, the gang follows them and Shelton points his gun at John. Kelly tries to be a shield so Shelton makes his men drag her away and hits John to bring him down. However John shows no fear and says Shelton won't shoot because he doesn't know how to do anything by himself so he makes his henchmen do it for him. Shelton denies it yet he still asks for a volunteer. The guys refuse, finally understanding that their boss is a weakling. John stands up proudly and tells Kelly he loves her. Shelton raises his gun again only to be shot first by Wen, who quickly takes the money bag. He intends to. Moments later, John and Kelly are leaving town in Shelton's car. Kelly opens her bag and reveals that she stole all the money. At the same time, Wen delivers the original bag to his boss, only to find the vest inside. The explosion instantly kills him. The next day, John uses the bathroom at a gas station. Suddenly the demon appears behind him, but John notices it's a disguise. This is another John, who wants his money back. Since this John hasn't fallen in love with Kelly, the first John makes a deal. He keeps Kelly while masked John takes the money. Then John keeps Kelly distracted in the shop while his other self takes the bag from the car. Later Kelly realizes that John gave up the money to be with her and says she loves him too. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.